Yes, it has now been 30 years since a 51-day standoff at Mount Carmel ended in a massive fire at the Branch-Davidian complex.
In the end, more than 80 people died, including several young children. It all started February 28, 1993, when the ATF attempted to raid the compound. Their goal was to arrest David Koresh, who they believed was stockpiling weapons and ammunition. 4 ATF agents and 6 Branch Davidians died that day. 51 days later, the FBI fired tear gas into the building and tried to force their way in. It quickly went horribly wrong. A fire engulfed the building, killing 76 Branch Davidians, including Koresh and several children. Now, 30 years later, many questions about what could have been done differently to save lives remains unanswered.
And tonight we're looking at this story from several angles now. Survivors tell their stories with a perspective they say that has never been told. Adriana Alexander revisits the site where she spoke with the pastor of the church that is there now. And we hear from a KCN anchor who covered it from day one. But first, we start with 6 News anchor Bailey Bates, who will share what a group of scholars have learned over the past 3 decades. Bailey?
Chris, Lindsay, there was a press conference this morning in Waco where 4 scholars and a Branch Davidian survivor expressed their frustrations about the narratives out there over the last 3 decades surrounding the 51-day siege. There are frustrations about those who died during the deadly interactions and that they're not humanized. Frustrations that those there that were a part of Branch Davidians weren't viewed as humans and only demonic or part of a cult. But one of the biggest components scholars who have been studying the siege since the day it started is that the deadly interaction could have been preventable. Sociology professor Stuart Wright says he discovered 16 violations in the federal agents' protocols at Mount Carmel.
This calamity could have been avoided through better investigative work and planning, and whatever crimes David Koresh and others may or may not have committed, this deadly disaster was entirely preventable. ATF agents exercised extremely poor judgment, made erroneous assumptions, and ignored the foreseeable perils of their course of action.
Wright's talking points there also stem from what he said was the executive summary of an investigation by Congress. Most importantly, the group of scholars want you to understand there are other narratives out there that have been misconstrued. Coming up on 6 News at 6, hear more on what survivors and scholars have found over the last 30 years that they'll hope you'll learn today too.
All right. Bailey, thank you so much.